Okay, so I'll just go through what exactly is Salesforce, and then we'll continue our day one. Okay, just a quick few minutes, and then we'll start our day one. Okay, so as we know, Salesforce is a company which is giving a ready-made software. Okay, if someone asks you what is a Salesforce is a company. It's a software company which gives us a ready-made software. Means this software is a ready-made, means ready to use. So now what type of companies can use this software, like what type of industries, right? So obviously a businesses only can use a software, right? If you have a business, for your business only you can use a software, correct? Salesforce says that my Salesforce software can be used by for any type of business. Okay, let's say I'll go with an example, some company called RD. Okay, so if you look at here on the Salesforce website, there are a lot of companies who are using Salesforce. See, Godrej, Genpact, Rosara Pay, Pepe Jeans, right? If you click all customers, so these are the different people. Kotak Bank using Salesforce. Okay, some universities are using Jaipur Rugs. They are using Salesforce. Okay, Angel One, Excel, JSW Steel, Tata using Salesforce, right? Like a lot of companies are using Salesforce. Now if you look at here, every company has its own business, right? So Tata, it's a consumer products, like where we can eat the product. Okay, it's a consumer product. It's a steel company, right? Okay, and then it's a bike, right? Where it is, they are selling the bikes, right? And it's an interior company, right? Okay, so different companies are using Salesforce, right? University is using Salesforce. Okay, Pidilite, okay, and then Jaipur Rax, right? Agriculture, like what you can say, bank using Salesforce, right? So in our day-to-day life, we can see all these things, right? People, like if I start my day and I if I'm ending my day in the evening, I go to a bank, right? I go to a restaurant, I go to a college, right? So everywhere, all these industries can use Salesforce. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now, when Salesforce started initially, this company started 20 years back. When they started giving a software that can be used for sales and service. Okay, the companies who does a sales and who gives a service, they can only use Salesforce initially. Okay, so that product they called as a, if any company want to use Salesforce for their sales process, they can use Sales Cloud. For service, Service Cloud. Later on, Salesforce introduced other industry specific products like Marketing Cloud for marketing purpose, Commerce Cloud, online shopping, right? So like that, industry specific products also Salesforce started. Health industry, Health Cloud, financial sector, Financial Cloud. Okay. Now the question is, hey Shubhani, which product we are understanding in this course? Okay. You are going to be a Salesforce administrator, okay, this course, and we will be understanding the product called Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. Other products you can get an exposure once you started working in real time. I'm clear. Any questions till now? Any questions, everyone?
No, no.
No, understood.
Okay, now, so let's say if a company RD, I'll use the company word RD. I don't want to take the real company names. I use a company called RD. Assume that that company want to use a Salesforce. Now, if RD company want to use a Salesforce for their sales process, what they have to do? Salesforce says that, hey, you want to use my Sales Cloud for your organization. You have to pick up any of the editions. Either you want to use an enterprise edition, unlimited, or Einstein. Okay, and then I am going to be charge you per login. means in your company how many people need to have Salesforce access, those many licenses you have to buy. So it's all about per user per month. Okay, next, like that every product has its own pricing model. Okay, so whenever you have time, go through this website, try to explore. Okay, let's say if you go to product marketing cloud, if a company want to use a marketing cloud, the pricing part is different. Okay, see Leica using, okay, Mahindra using, Mercedes Benz using marketing cloud. Okay, here the pricing is different. Okay, see there are different products in marketing cloud altogether. Okay, see all products. You want to see in rupees is there? No, only dollars they kept. See, the price is different completely. Okay. Now, so since Salesforce is ready-made software, yearly Salesforce will bring new features. Those will call it as a releases. So three times Salesforce will bring new features yearly, three times, like summer, winter, spring. Currently, we are into a spring 25. So in Salesforce, we have two different platforms. One is a classic, another one is a lightning. We will be teaching here lightning. Okay, now we want to do a practice, correct? Right? So as I told, Salesforce is a ready-made software, so you don't need to install anything on your computer. It's a browser base. You need to have internet connectivity. So go to this website, developer.salesforce.com, and there is an option here, get a free developer edition. So I'll be sharing this URL in the chat. Make a note of this. uh, Later of the class you can create your accounts. Okay, okay, so you have to fill up the details, like you have to give your first name, last name. You can type the job title as administrator. Okay, and you give your email id, personal email id, and then company, we don't have a company, right? Just mention as training. Okay, training. And country, wherever country that you belongs to. If you are in US, select US. If you are in India, select India. Okay, select I am not a robot and then sign up and then agree. What will happen, it takes few minutes. It create a account and it gives you an email on your email id. See, whatever email id that you mention here, right, on this email id you will get an email like this: welcome to Salesforce, verify your account, reset your password. Okay, so just click on reset the password. I already created. And then you, it will ask you to set up the password. Now remember that password, and you have, this is your username. Okay, whatever you, the username is this is, and the password you have been kept, right? With that, every day if you want to log into Salesforce, the URL is login.salesforce.com. Okay, so now I'll take my user ID, I'll try to log in. Okay, I'll try to log into my account, and you can select I remember me. Okay, so that every time you no need to enter the user ID and password. Okay, automatically it will come. Log in. Now I'm able to log in. So what is the URL to login? Login.salesforce.com. Okay, so this also I'm putting in a chat. So I hope we are clear how to create an account and how to log in once we create it. So make a note of
Yes.
these URLs. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, Amatullah, any questions? Okay, I couldn't hear you, Amatullah.
Tested.
Okay, okay. Simran, Simranjit, uh, any
I can
questions?
hear you. No questions. Just watching.
Okay. I couldn't
Yeah,
see your email ID in the chat. Can you please share your email ID to send the
of
recording?
course. Hold on a second.
Nazim, you have any questions till now? How to create an account?
No, yeah, no question. Super, I created the account already.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. Okay. So now let's start our day. Okay. So now let's look at our real projects. Okay, so I'll compare with a real project and I'll try to talk. So for example, okay, once you're done with your course and all, you might be started looking for a job and you will land into a job, right? So once you landed into a job, okay, what how you are going to be get the work, okay, how you are going to be get the work, okay. So how you are going to be work, let's say you got a job in any of the IT company as a Salesforce admin, and then they will be allocated to one project. They will give you one project, right? So now project is nothing but some companies using Salesforce, and to them you are supporting technically. Okay. So that company name we'll call it as a RD. RD company, what their business? Their business is they are into sales, they are into service. What they are selling? They are selling electronic product. Okay. All the electronic home appliances they are selling. And so once the product has been sold out, they are giving a service. Okay. So now if you look at RD company, they are into sales and they are into a service industry, right? Now, now. So now you got a job in any of the IT company as a Salesforce admin and your project is RD. So now from RD, who will use this software? Their employees, right? Correct? Like their sales team, marketing team, right? Okay. So their employees will be started using the software. Now when they are trying to use the software, how they can log in and what kind of access they will have in Salesforce. Let's try to understand. Okay. So let's say in RD company, their employees, uh, we will call them as per our project, we will call them as a end users. End user is nothing but so who is using the Salesforce for their day-to-day activity is a end user. Correct? Clear? Any questions here?
No.
So we can call them as end user, or we can call them as a we can also call them as a business user. We can also call them as a client. You can also call them as a client. You can go with any name. Okay. So now when they try to log in, so they need to have a computer with them. Okay. And then they need to use this URL. They need to open a browser. So what is the best browser to use Salesforce? Chrome. Chrome is the best browser. When you do practice also, I recommend you guys to use Chrome. Okay. So that you will see a better experience. Okay. And then they need to provide this URL login.salesforce.com, and then they need to provide the user ID and password to log into that account, right? See, if you go to login.salesforce.com, they're asking user ID and password, correct? Okay. Now the question is, who will create the user ID and password? We will create as an admin. We will create the user IDs and password. That is as part of our course. We will teach you how to create the users and all. Okay. Now, so once they log in, the user will have an access to application. Okay, user will have an access to application. Application we will call it as an app. Okay. Now where you can see that application. So as a user, this is an application. So you see a logo here, right? And below that, the nine dots, whatever you see, it's in a launcher, application launcher, app launcher. Okay. So, in real time, a user can have more than one app access. So, he can click here. It shows the available apps that he has an access, view all. So, whichever app he want to go, he can click. Let's say he want to go to the service app, he can just click. he can go to the service app. So so from here he can perform his day-to-day activity. So basically through app only the user can perform his day-to-day activity, and a user can have more than one application access, one app access. Okay. Now, is there any other way the user can access the Salesforce application apart from computer? Yes, they can also use access the Salesforce from mobile app. Okay, mobile app. So what is the mobile app name? Salesforce. What is the mobile app? Salesforce. If you go to a Play Store on your smartphone, like it can be Android or iOS, if you just go to the Play Store, okay, so you can just search for the app called Salesforce. So this is how it look like. Okay, got it. So the user can perform from browser as well as from mobile app. So both the way he can do. Okay, clear? Any questions till now?
No.
Others?
No question.
No. Now, as an admin, as a Salesforce admin, when you are working in a project, you will also try to log into system because you need to support to the client, right? Okay. So you will also go to computer, you will also open a browser, and as part of the project onboarding, you will get user ID and password to your particular project. Okay, you will have that access, and you will get an access to application. Along with that, as an admin, we will have an access to setup. So from setup only, we do all the admin activity. So whatever we do the admin activity in setup, the user will get reflected on the app. Okay. Now where I can see the setup, if you go to an application, see you see a small gear icon on the top right corner, right? It says setup, right? So just click on this. It says setup. Click on the setup. It opens in a different tab in the same window. Okay. So from here, I will be performing the admin activity. So for example, I want to create an app like this. The customer is asking us to create a different app. He don't want to use a standard. He want to have a different app. So what I do, I go to setup, and then I go to platform tools. I go to apps, and I go to app manager. So it's very little bit difficult, right? Every time I cannot remember the navigation, correct? Right? Since one option I can remember, but if I want to perform everything, I cannot, right? So that's the reason Salesforce given us a quick find box. So here you can just type app. So click on App Manager. So in the middle of the screen, we got an option to perform. See, so it highlighted with the light yellow color. So whichever you want to perform, just use the keyword. Okay. So you no need to remember the navigation. You want to create a user, a role, anything, just type the keyword. It highlight with the light yellow color. Whichever you want, you can just click and you will be able to perform. Okay. Now, now. So this is a end user screen. App is a end user screen, and setup from here. Setup as an admin, we will perform the admin activity. Now, so admin also will have a mobile app. Okay, but we will not use this. In very rare case we use the mobile app name is Salesforce capital A. This we will use in very rare case, whenever user got lock unlock. Okay, so he is asking us to reset his password. That time only we'll use. Okay, not every time. You cannot do all the admin activity through mobile app. No. So let me go through this all this option now. Okay, let's walk through this application. What are the options are available? Okay, And wherever you get a confusion, you can
What is
stop.
the yeah, what is the name should be for the app store? Only the Salesforce, right? I did not
Ah,
find
yes,
anything
the
Salesforce
app
there.
name is Salesforce.
Only Salesforce, no A, right?
No, for
Okay.
admin, A.
Okay. Because it's like, in app store I don't find that.
Yeah, we
So
didn't find. Previously it was, now they removed because there is no use for us. Okay.
no, you mean like, this app store is no
Yeah,
admin
yeah,
access, right?
yeah,
Only Salesforce.
yeah. And this end user access has access. For us, no needed. So that's the reason we couldn't see. Previously it was
Okay.
actually
Yeah, I see the authenticator, but authenticator is a different. Salesforce
different.
field service.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
authenticated different.
Okay.
So whenever we want to have a MFA, multi-factor authentication, we can use the authenticator. Okay.
Right.
No, no. So let's try to go through this application. So now we are trying to understand application. Okay, and then we'll get into other topic. Okay. So this is a logo, Salesforce logo, and below the nine dots, whatever you see, it's an app launcher. This logo also we can change. By default, it's a Salesforce logo. If you want to keep a different logo, we can keep. If the customer gave us a different logo, we can keep. Okay. And below that, whatever you see, the nine dots, it's an app launcher. It, if you click here, it helps you to navigate in between the app. So for example, I want to see sales here on the top. What you can do, just click view all. You can select the sales, drag and drop. Just a drag and drop. Select, drag and drop. Okay. Now if you go here, click on app launcher. Now you can see the sales on the top. And you can also search from here. Okay. Whichever app you want. Now, so this is a navigation bar. The straight line is a navigation bar. On the navigation bar, whatever we see, these are the tables, database tables, which contain the data. Okay. So if you go to a table, select this drop down, select all. All means in the table, I want to see all the records. Okay. Now I'm able to see all the data. Okay. So since it is a practice system, we got some test data. So remember, since it is a practice system, we got some test data. And we can also create a record here. If you want to insert any new data into this table, just click new here. Okay. And then you get in a page layout. So here you have to fill up the all the mandatory column. Okay. So without giving that, if you try to save, it will not save. It says all the mandatory column. The star mark, wherever you see the small star mark, it's a mandatory column, required field you have to fill up. And the existing data, either we can select the drop down, we can edit, we can delete. Okay, so we can perform anything. Now, let's say I want to search the record. Generally, if I compare with Excel, if you want to search anything, what you do, we use a control F, right? Now here we got a search engine. Here, this is a search, global search. Okay. So if I want to search the record, let's say I want to search record called Shubhani, I just enter. So it try to search in all the table. So it's a global search. This is a global search. All means global search. So whatever the record that you are trying to see, if it is available in the respective uh, which table it is available, it try to search. See on the left side, it go and search in the all the tables, and it couldn't find any records. Okay, so that's the reason say we couldn't search Shubhani. Okay, there is no record. Okay, now this is a global search. Any record that I want to search, I can go and search here. Or if I want to search from a particular table, I can select this drop down and I can select a particular table. Okay, so I can select in a particular table, or all means global search. Now, let's say I open a record as a user. Okay, I try to do some action here, Okay, I try to edit the record or I try to do some action, and again I went to other table. Okay, so here also I try to open another record. I was doing some action. I went to other table. Okay, so here also I try to perform a action. All of the sudden, I want to open the opportunity table record. So don't worry about these tables. I'll explain all these tables in the upcoming session. So what is an opportunity? What is a lead, account, contact, campaign? Okay. Today just try to focus. Okay. Now, if I want to remember that opportunity record, I may not able to remember because I have so many records, right? I don't know which record that I open. So you have this kind of scenario. So let's say you open a record, and this record again and again you want to open. Okay, you need a shortcut. So what you can do, open this record, add to favorite. Say there is a star mark here, add to favorite. So same way you can go to other table, you can open other record, add to favorite. You can go to other table. Okay, so you can open a record, add to favorite. Now, so if I want to open that record again, what I can do, I no need to go to the table. What I can do, I can go to the favorite, select the drop down, say I can open the opportunity record directly, right? If I want to open other record, maybe where I can open. If I want to see contact, I can see, right? So this is a shortcut. So as a sales executive, whenever I'm using this application, if I'm working with particular records, okay, if I want to open, I no need to go to the table. I can add. It's a call from favorite. So any important record I can add to favorite. Later, if I don't want, I can edit also. Got it? So favorite will help you to any particular record you want to open, and again you can add to favorite. Clear? Any questions here?
No question.
No questions.
Yeah, Amatullah. Any questions? Next. So when I'm working, I can change this. I can just drag and drop whichever I want to see first. Okay, I can just change the placement. Okay, I can just drag and drop. Now, now. So as a salesperson, when I'm trying to work with the opportunities to close the deal, I want to send an email to customer. I go to the particular record. I will send an email to customer. Okay. I want to set up a meeting. I'll go here. I'll set up a meeting. Okay. So I want to chat with the customer. I go here and chat. I want to create a lead record. I go to the lead table and I click new to create a lead record. Now these actions I can also do from here, the plus icon global action. See, you can create a lead record. You don't need to go to the lead table. It's a shortcut. You can go to the plus icon, click new lead. I will be able to create a lead record. Okay. I want to create an opportunity. I can do. So these are the shortcut. Okay, global actions. Any notifications I can see on the bell icon. Okay, and whatever the user that I log in, the user related name here, and I can log out. Okay, now so with the bell icon, any notifications I can refer. Okay, the setup we know if you want to do an admin activity, click on the setup. Click on setup, it opens in a different tab. So from here we can perform the admin activity. Okay, so this is about application. Okay, next. I hope it's clear.
Yes. Yes.
Next, see, I told you that if a company want to use Salesforce, they have to buy the licenses, right? If they want to use the Sales Cloud, for example, if you go to product, if they want to use the Sales Cloud, okay, they have to. by the edition, right? Edition and the number of licenses, right? So now you want to know when you are working in a project, okay? So your client, which edition they brought and how many licenses that they brought. So where you can check means once you log into the Salesforce application, once you log into the Salesforce application, go to setup, okay? In the setup, just type in a quick find box company. So click on company information, okay? Now in the company information, all these details how it came means, okay? So when you try to create a practice account, we have been fill up the details, right? We fill up this form, right? So all these details will come by default here. In real time, when they try to buy the Salesforce, they fill up the form. From that form only all these details will come. Okay. Now let me explain what is this. Okay. So let me explain what is this. Okay. Organization name means, okay, so which company brought this application, that company name. See, while creating an account, we given the name as company name as training, right? So that name came here, right? Okay. See, this is the details will come when the company trying to buy a software, they fill up the contract agreement form. From the contract agreement form, all these details will come, and this can be editable anytime. You can just click edit. You can change the name also. Okay. I'll just save test. Save. It will get saved. You can change anytime. Okay. It's a basic details that which company brought application. Okay, when they brought everything. Now, primary contact person means, so he is the primary contact person to Salesforce. If a Salesforce want to talk to this RD company for any payment or training, so I'll change the company name as, let's say, RD. I'll give as RD. Okay. So he is the primary contact person. Primary contact person means if he can go and talk to Salesforce, and Salesforce also can talk for for this company related. Okay, any payment or anything, and their address where they located. Okay. Now if you scroll down, there is a edition here, right? Organization edition. See, organization. It shows a developer edition. Any guess why it is showing developer edition? Why it is not uh, showing all these edition names? Any guess why it is showing developer edition?
Because we are using the develop edition, right?
Yes, we
So,
registered for developer, right? Correct.
yes.
So that's the reason. Since it is a practice system, we registered for developer. It shows a developer edition. But in the real time, in the real project, so whichever edition that customer brought, okay, that edition name it displays here. Okay. If they brought enterprise, it shows enterprise. Now, so this instance and all, I'll talk tomorrow class. Instance is nothing but on a uh, uh, which server they are using. Okay, that this will cover tomorrow. Next, so I was talking about they have to buy the licenses, right? If we say license in Salesforce means the license name is, okay, license name is Salesforce. The customer will buy the license type or name, you can consider as Salesforce. Okay. So where you can see that how many licenses that they brought. So there is a section user license. Okay. So license type Salesforce. So total we got four free licenses. Since it is a practice account, we got four free. Out of that, two created already. When we do practice, we can create two more users. Okay. When we try to create, we can create a two more additional users. Okay. So in this company information, you can identify quickly which arc they're, which instance they are using. Okay, sorry, which edition, and this instance and arc I'll talk tomorrow. And then how many licenses that they brought, and basic details about that company. So where they located. Okay, the licenses we can check under company information, user licenses, Salesforce, total 2, okay, user 2, remaining 2. Expiry date means renewal date. Okay, expiry date means renewal date. Now, now, so here default language means which language they prefer to see the application. Okay, English. So which time zone they belongs to. Okay, which currency they want to use, USD. Okay, that everything came. Other details came. This we'll see later. But as of now, we can see about the company name, and then in or which edition, and then the licenses. Now I'll tell you a simple one scenario. Okay, how to do an admin activity. Okay, for example, now the customer is using the application. Okay, the customer is using the application. The customer come up with a scenario, saying that, hey, the currency part, see that I see in a dollar, right? Correct. So let's say we are in an Indian company. Assume that we are an Indian company. We don't want to see in a dollar. Can you please change this dollar currency to rupees? I want to see here as a rupee option, rupee instead of dollar. Okay. So now I want to do I want to change as an admin. So as an admin, if you want to do change, from where we have to do setup, right? So go to setup, click on setup. The customer is asking us to change that dollar to rupees, right? So just type in a quick find box, company, go to company information, click on company information. So here, see the currency local English, right? Okay. So just edit. If you scroll down, currency settings. So United States English USD to, I want to just select the drop down. In the drop down, you can select INR, right? INR, India INR. Save. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. Now I changed. Now we can inform to the client saying that, hey, I changed. Can you check? Now as a user, I go to the application and just refresh. And remember one thing, in this training, I use two tabs. Okay. So wherever you see application means here, this is a end user screen. If we are in a setup means we do the admin activity. So that's the reason I'm using two tabs. So here we will do the change, and here we will come back and we will test. Now if you look at it, came to rupees, right? Right, rupees. So now customer says, we are a global company. Again, customer saying that we are a global company, and whichever country we log in, that country we currency we want to see. Now I log in from US, I want to see a dollar. I will log in from India, I want to see in a rupees. Then how? Go to setup again, go to company information, just edit. There is an option here, activate multiple currencies. You can check this, but again, don't check. Here there is a warning. Okay, so if you turn on the multiple currencies, it's going to be a permanent change in the system. And one fine day, if the customer asks you to, we don't want multi-currency, we want single currency, we cannot, because once you activate it, it is going to be a permanent change and you cannot revert back. So before you activate this, tell to customer, hey, if I activated now multi-currency, in future you say no, I don't want multi-currency, we cannot revert back. This is going to be a permanent solution. Okay, no, so don't do that. Okay, even still they are asking, you tell to your manager or someone or your project who is leading, you tell them and ask them to explain to the customer. Okay, because it's a Salesforce software related future. This you cannot turn off. Okay, but still they are asking from the customer. We can take a written communication saying that they accepted this one. In future, they will not. Again, they will not revert back. Okay, so I will go back to UST again. Okay, so understood how to change the currency.
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Save. Go back, just refresh. It will come to USD. Okay, fine. I'll recommend you guys to uh, create a practice account today and try to explore all the options, whatever is available. Okay, so tomorrow we will connect and tomorrow we'll see new topic. Okay, if you have any questions, we can discuss now, or else I'm done for today.
I'm good.
Okay, yeah, Amdullah, you have any questions? Yeah, Nazim.
No, sir. Understood. Understood till now.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
Nazim.
no question from my end.
Okay, okay, then see you tomorrow. We'll send this recording in some time and you can download and you can watch. Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Thank you.